it is I again, Matt, just Matt the gent that loves sharing stuff on YouTube. Um, so today I'm back again with video 3 of 3, which is my social media dashboard. So if you aren't yet familiar with the dashboards and why I'm choosing to share this, I would strongly suggest you go and watch my first video on the dashboards that I've created, and the video that I'm referring to is called the fuel dashboard. It should be the fuel dashboard if my memory serves me correct. If it's not the fuel dashboard, then that video will redirect you to the personal expenses dashboard, which I'm pretty sure is the one because I started off with that one. So have a look at that video and it will give you context to the dashboards. For your ease of access, not even for your ease of access, but for your ease of information, allow me to just give you a brief 30-second or less view on the dashboards. So as an individual, I pride myself in being a high performance character. High performance meaning that I'm able to get things done effectively and efficiently in the shortest space of time while maxing out on results. And so I thought, Matt, seeing that you're such a high performance individual, why not share this information with people out there so that they themselves can see if this information is of value and if they can use it to they themselves become high performance individuals. And so as part of that journey, I've decided to share with you the 3 dashboards that I use to track the 3 major areas of my life. The first being my personal expenses, the second being my fuel expenses, and the third being my social media growth. Because, we're in the world of social media and that's where income comes through and marketing. So you need to have a way of tracking your social media and you need to have a plan for your social media. So this is one of my more favorite dashboards. What I'm going to take you through is stuff that you're probably already familiar with if you've watched my other 2 videos. So on the screen, you can see we've got my social media dashboard. And this allows me to track everything from the number of words I've used on social media to the number of posts, to the number of audio and video time I've invested, and how far I am from completing my goals for that particular month, for the particular 3 months, or that particular year. Walking you through the dashboard, on the top, the 3 pie charts that you see, or the 3 circles. The first is the number of word count. So the word count referring to things like captions, things like blog posts, anything that had to do with me posting words on social media is added to the word count. You will see what all of these look like when we go to the social media goal list. The second thing is the number of posts. So how many posts have I put out on social media? How many posts have I put out for the month? How many posts did I put up for the year? I want to one day look back and say, wow, I've put over 560 pieces of content on social media. How amazing is that? I've written over 3,000 words worth of content and I've invested a total of 760 audio and video hours in social media content. This is what I'm working towards, and this is the type of reflection that I would like to have at a later stage in my life when I look back at my growth. The goal completion part of the dashboard literally speaks into my monthly, yearly, and quarterly goals. So every goal right now, the goals that you're looking at is my goals for November. In November, I would like to put out 28 pieces of content, and already I've put up about 26 pieces of content. So doing good in terms of the goals. Underneath the graphs that you're seeing is you've got the goal trends. So the target goal trends, literally speaking into how do I vary my goals each month? Am I setting, or not each month, but for each day? Am I setting lower goals on particular days? Am I setting higher goals during particular months, during particular times of the month? And so this helps me pace myself and it helps me understand when I'm at my highest performance versus when I'm at my lowest performance. It is very likely that I'm setting shorter, smaller goals during my low peaks of performance, either due to time constraints, either due to energy constraints, or overall fatigue. And then during my high peaks, it's because I've got time, I've got the energy, I'm feeling creative. So this will allow me to leverage those times in my life, knowing what time it is. The actual goal trend speaks into, again, how am I actually meeting these goals? Am I meeting the goals daily? Is there an increase? Is there a decline? And as you can see, I started off the month literally high, clapping out all my goals, but then I started sinking towards end of November, and now I'm slowly picking it up again. So do you see, it's trends like this that help me learn how, that show me or give me insight as to how best to pace myself. Then right underneath those two graphs, you've got the number of posts per platform. So you'll see it's speaking into the YouTube, my personal website, Instagram, and Apple Podcasts. From this already, you can tell that the majority of my content has been going to Instagram, and I have been slacking around YouTube and my Apple Podcasts. So this tells me where I need to work on, where I need to pick up, and where I can afford to slow down. Then the final graph, not the third, but the final graph, is literally speaking into the content overview. So what is the majority content that I'm putting out? Is it stories? Is it pictures? Is it blog posts? Is it podcasts? Is it videos? And from this graph, you can tell that the number one content that I'm pushing out is videos. 10 pieces of video content is where I'm sitting right now. This video content is most likely on, it could be on Instagram, it could be on YouTube, it could be on Facebook. But not so much Facebook, because I don't put so much content out on Facebook. And the second content that I push out the most is picture, followed by stories, speaking to Instagram stories, WhatsApp stories, and the likes. So just by looking at this, I'm able to track my performance. I'm able to see where I'm overperforming, where I'm underperforming, and where I need to improve. Again, the slices literally speaking into me being able to choose which parts of the months do I want to look at. Do I want to look at August, September, October? All of those months have nothing, because I've just started tracking my goals on this sheet now in November. So you will only see my goals for November. Again, the filters help me look at, again, the content type. If I want to look at how much content I'm pushing out in terms of blogs, we would see that I've only put out one blog post, so the trend isn't really showing much. I've put most of my blog posts out on my personal website. I've had 400 words on my blog posts. Again, if we look at podcasts, 0, total word count 0. While the total number of posts, I need to fix that up. That's incorrect. And then you've got the audio time. So I've invested only about 12 minutes into podcasts. When we look at videos, I've invested 123, but an hour and 23 minutes. An hour and 23 minutes worth of video content that I've pushed out so far. I've used 400 words in my captions. Majority of my posts, as I was mentioning earlier, go onto YouTube and they go onto Instagram. So again, this is why I love this so much. If I want to look at platform specific, that also allows me to do so. So on YouTube, the major content that I'm pushing out is video. I've put 350 words out on YouTube. I've spent 1 hour, 20 minutes on YouTube. Looking at my personal website, no word count so far, which is weird because I do have a blog up there. And the major content that I'm pushing out again is the blogs. Then we look at Instagram. On Instagram, the major content that I'm pushing out is pictures, videos, and stories. A total word count of 50, total number of 3 minutes invested on Instagram. That should be 3 minutes. So yeah, that is what the dashboard itself looks like. If you go to the actual social media goal list, this is where I input all of the data, and you can see this is where it's getting all of my data from. So I've got the date, the platform, the content type that I'm pushing out, the number of target posts that I had for the day, the number of actual posts that I put out, the word copy count if I had any, and the number of time invested. The rest will be automatically calculated once I put the video's time start and the video end. So the start will always be 0 and the end would be how many minutes it took. and then the difference would be added there. So although you're looking at the social media dashboard, it does not exist in isolation. There is another Excel sheet that accompanies this one, and that Excel sheet has all my social media goals for the month set out. It's got my month, my strategy, and everything that I would like to track. Everything from reach, everything from conversions, how many people do I get as subscribers once they've watched my post. And with that information, the reason it's not on this dashboard is because you can just easily extract it off platforms like Instagram, YouTube. The analytics section gives you all of that information. So you don't really need to be manually tracking it yourself. You just need to export it and input it into that particular Excel sheet. So for me, this is it. The other great thing that I love about this particular dashboard is I've attached my content planner onto this. So my content planner would very much complement the goals, the number of target posts that I've set out. So all of this, as you can see, this is just an example, random stuff that I've inputted. And it helps me plan my content efficiently. So on what date do I want to publish it? By what date must it be completed? Who are the authors? So authors meaning, who am I featuring? Is it just going to be myself? Am I going to have a guest speaker? Am I going to have a guest person? What are we going to be speaking about? What is the title of what we're speaking about? What is the content of what we're speaking about? What are the keywords that I would like the audience to take away? The keywords I'm also going to be using under my tags and under my tags, yes, and in my descriptions. Who are the target people for this particular content? And what is the call to action that they must take away? So at the end of it, what do we want them to take away? And lastly, the platform onto which I will be publishing it. And then lastly, I've got the growth strategy, which I won't be showing just yet because, well, it's too soon for that. And yes, that is all I wanted to share with you today. This is my social media dashboard. I hope you found value in it. And if so, try it out. Let me know how it works for you. Maybe let me know, how do you track your social media growth and how do you track your personal life? I'd be keen to hear about it in the comment section. So let me know, and I'm looking forward to that. This is Matt, just Matt, signing out until next time.